Love is such a simple way to describe how this person feels about you with this "I know that we have a soul connection" card. This is somebody that is asking themselves if they have ever really experienced love prior to meeting you. This is somebody that is feeling a lot. These feelings came on very quickly. They may be struggling to move through the experience of what they had been used to in the past, which were shallow connections, connections where it was very easy for them to, kind of put up barriers and, stop the acceleration or development of feelings, connections where they had the upper hand. They were in the position of power because that was something that they were taught through toxic relationships. Like the person who is most in love has the least amount of power within the dynamic. And that was a system that they operated within effectively, feeding into their woundedness for quite some time. And then you've come along. And this is something where this person is asking themselves, am I ready for what happens next in this circumstance? This is somebody, it feels like, that wants to open up to you about their intentions, about these deeper feelings, about thoughts that they have for the future. But this is almost like once they express these things, they don't want to shut the door to this. They want to take steps forward towards you and keep taking steps forward towards you. This is something that the momentum within them, the pressure within them is really building to act, to say something, while a window of opportunity presents itself, or in a way that is almost like their soul won't take no for an answer. They are not having very much success with trying to just sort of stay in the shallow end of this experience because there is something more about this situation that is magnetizing them beyond their comfort zone. We have "I've never met someone like you." So this person sees that you are the reflection of all of their hopes and dreams embodied within a person. You are somebody that brings a very beautiful light into the world. You make the lives of people around you brighter. You have a very strong soul, a very strong personality. You are somebody that they respect, that they admire. They think of you, and it's a sense of like, I've never encountered anyone that I have both that level of respect for and that degree of tenderness towards inside, which is causing this person to start to ask themselves, how would I then be expected to sort of show up in this connection, or what parts of myself would then be sort of open to the exposure of this very loving energy from you if I were to continue to take steps towards you. This is something that this is a person that feels like they can't hide anything from you. Like they almost kind of confess things or say more than they would want to say in your presence. This is something where you're very easy to talk to, you're very easy to connect with. It feels very natural to have this open exchange with you, which again, that idea of like a soul connection, this could be a past life soul connection, past life soulmate. But this is like, I've never met someone like you. I've never encountered a past life connection. I've never encountered someone that I would consider a soulmate. This person might not have even thought in terms like that. Again, it's somebody that was used to very like ego-based connections where it's like, I'm in control of the pace of things. I'm in control of how much I give. I'm in control of who I let in and what I receive and where things go. And if I feel out of control, then I'm out of here. This is somebody that always has been in situations romantically where it's like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, sleeping with one eye open, not getting too comfortable, not letting the guard down too much out of a fear of being hurt or wounds they had inside that they never properly tended to, like a fear of those things being exposed. This is somebody that saw love as a weakness, and it was like, don't fall in love because that'll just undo all of this other kind of ego-based persona. That'll be the ruin of you, is love. That was kind of like the basis that they were operating recently, or maybe for their whole life as far as connections were concerned. And you've bypassed all those mechanisms and you fit so properly in this space within, this kind of like hidden desire, this secret side of themselves, that it feels like you're aligning so perfectly as if you belong there, as if there is a part within their heart that was made specifically for you. We also have I can feel you. Yeah, so this is definitely somebody that consciously feels your energy around them. They think of you and there's some kind of sign or synchronicity from the universe that is confirming for them, like very quick, very immediately, like, yes, what you're feeling is real. Yes, this is genuine. Yes, stay very much in this moment and let the magic of the universe, the force of love, sort of do its thing. Follow that internal guidance. Take steps forward when you are directed. Hold space to sort of sit within and bask in the experience of something that is beyond the comfort zone, but ultimately is something that it feels like this person is sensing is like leading them towards a higher potential. Like this is somebody who is in the process of rising into love, not falling into love, which they had equated with being like a dangerous thing. To fall into love, that's just going to lead to disappointment. It's just going to lead to brokenness. So I'm not going to let myself feel anything or feel too much for other people. And yet with you, instead of kind of like this process of surrender and softening, they're almost like strengthening and ascending within themselves. They're matching you energetically speaking. Like when they feel your energy, they're looking at that very consciously. They're recognizing that. They're starting to kind of like ask questions like, what is this? I can feel this person. I'm dreaming of this person and I wake up and it feels like they are in the bed next to me, even though I am alone. I'm thinking about this person and all of a sudden I see their name somewhere, or, you know, they're thinking about you and you reach out and there's some kind of communication between the two of you. Other little signs and synchronicities that are very unique that they have associated with you that have definitely caught this person's attention and are helping them to recognize like this is no ordinary love. This is no ordinary experience. This is something that it feels like has piqued their attention, it's piqued their interest, and again is the experience of like rising to the occasion in love, coming to recognize the fullness of their own energy and their own capacities emotionally, and even in just how they've been like presenting in the world. This person may have a very loud energy, but they've learned to kind of cloak that in some sort of way. This is somebody that tries to blend in. They expel a lot of energy trying to be just like hidden in plain sight, but the experience with you, it's like expanding them beyond all of that. And rather than that being something which is kind of like I gotta resist this at all costs, there's a curiosity associated with this, kind of like, what is this experience? What is this inviting me towards? We also have I want a future with you. Yeah, so this person sees long-term potential here, and they may be just in the midst of kind of getting the lay of the land as far as this energetic component between the two of you. It feels like they are surprisingly reassured at the ways in which they are encouraged to step beyond their comfort zone, because this person may sort of have to maintain a lot of control for what they do professionally, or the ways in which, again, they've kind of been conditioned to sort of cloak their energy, or, you know, try to just kind of minimize themselves, try and just sort of blend in. That has become like the status quo for them. This is somebody that's been living in survival mode, but along those lines of kind of just like never reveal what's truly inside, don't let anyone in too close, just continue to push forward and do what you can to kind of outrun the truth of whatever's happening emotionally or internally. And so in this process of kind of like shifting their energetic stance, or their perceptions, and most importantly perceiving you as like an energetic presence in their life, like even when they're alone, energetically you are with them. The ways in which you have kind of burst on the scene in their material life as well, and have kind of taken their attention away from whatever had been their routine, whatever had been sort of the normal course of events in their day. All of this is something during this adjustment period. This is somebody that is like factoring in the future between the two of you. They're starting to think of plans or dreams or goals that they had for the future, and they're starting to ask those questions like, what would these things look like if it were you and me going towards them? How would some of these things change or expand, or new possibilities would be open, you know, by compromising with the things that you're working towards, the things that are important for you? This is somebody that wants to talk about those future dreams and goals. So, you know, this is something where they may start talking about that, like opening up to you more about like, these are my long-term plans, my 5-year plan. This is what I want to do. This is where I see myself going. But it's not just sort of like one conversation or a couple little words exchanged. It may be something where they actually start to kind of build that dreamscape with you in the here and now through like bringing these things up, like confiding these things, or just being very kind of like detailed about the nature, sort of what they see as the future, asking provocative questions of you as well, kind of like, what do you think of that? What would you do if you were me? Where do you see yourself, in 10 years? Where do you want to your career to go? What do you think retirement would look like? Things like that kind of are starting to sort of give you the hint and the indicator that, yeah, this person wants something way more than just an immediate or temporary circumstance with you. We also have, I am grateful that you came into my life. So you're the best surprise ever for this person. This is something where they are very happy that they were in the circumstance they were in when they first met you. There might have been something where they were in a place or a location, or it was an event where it was like, I wasn't going to go, but then I did, and I'm so glad that I did because then I met you, or, I was filling in for someone else. I wasn't even supposed to be there, and yet I agreed to kind of do a good turn by somebody else, and it turns out that the universe, rewarded that kind of like good deed because I got the opportunity to meet you, or something where it's kind of like whatever had sort of led them to you. They'd followed a particular trail of breadcrumbs and they ended up at your door, metaphorically, for some people literally, and kind of just the sense of sort of like, okay, it couldn't have happened in a more perfect way. They're seeing the synchronicities, they're recognizing the serendipity. There is this sense of kind of like all signs have pointed to you for quite some time. This is somebody that's even kind of reflecting back on sort of when they had envisioned love as a younger person. Or maybe for some, they had even kind of like dreamed of a person. They had like connected with you energetically years before they met you. For others, this is somebody that would have had like an imaginary friend as a child, but the energy is so familiar that it's like, I don't think that was an imaginary friend. I think that was you. Like, it feels like it was your energy, and we've been connecting this whole time. You've kind of popped in and out of my reality in an energetic sense, and in the dream space, all leading up to this particular sort of like crossroads in time where I'm here, you're here, this is happening. And so this is something that there's almost like an experience or a moment of the sacred that this person sees within the dynamic between the two of you, that it feels like is one of their favorite parts. It's almost like an element of mystery or intrigue that is encouraging them to be very confident in terms of like, okay, we're getting into deep waters here. This goes far beyond just the shallow experiences I'm used to. This is not a circumstance where I can continue to sort of have that mindset of, can't let anyone in too close or I'm going to be hurt, or love is just sort of a power game. It's almost like this person is like making space within themselves to sort of hold on to the particular worldview, however that has kind of structured the life that they are living, or that's like a core component of their dominant personality. But then there's this other aspect of them that is like coming online, that is activating or is developing for the first time. So this is somebody in the midst of like an active evolution, thanks to what it is you bring to the table, but also thanks to the sense of like, I need to continue to rise to the occasion in order to match your frequency, or you're just going to be some kind of like fleeting point of light along my horizon. You're going to be someone that's not going to sit around. You're going to be someone that's not going to sit around. You're not going to wait. You're not just going to be like hanging out for me to figure things out. Like, I need to make my move. I need to keep up with you. I need to, continue to evolve in this situation so that I remain relevant to you. You remain like a significant part in my life. And we are both moving in that direction of a very successful connection with each other. We also have You're My Everything. So this person spends a lot of time daydreaming about you, maybe even researching things like soulmates or twin flames that could resonate with this person. They could think of you as their twin flame, or they're trying that label on for size. It feels like they've definitely, again, like taken notes of the ways in which there has been a subtle and yet profound shift inside of them in terms of what they're used to or what they have allowed in their life versus like the way that you've come in and you've broken all of those rules. But rather than being triggered by that or on the defensive, it's kind of like, wow, this feels good. You've liberated me from, a container that I had myself in. And rather than sort of, being very resentful of the fact that you've broken me out of these chains that I've kind of wrapped myself in for reasons that are unknown to me, I'm actually excited about the fact that we are standing on, the threshold of a very unknown kind of experience. That is something that if anyone were to come close to this in the past, I would have pushed them away. I would have run in the opposite direction. It never would have gotten this far. And yet With you, it feels safe. With you, it feels like I would follow wherever you will lead in terms of love. So this is somebody that looks at you and looks at your energy as something that feels inevitable. Like your next experience with one another is inevitable. Whatever happens next between the two of you, this is like in their highest good. This is someone that's coming into themselves and into like a greater understanding and awareness of like deeper potentials in love, that it feels like they're recognizing like I hadn't ever aligned with a person before that could have awakened such things within me. It had to be you. It had to be this moment in time. And so this is somebody, it feels like, that is drawing closer to you, kind of expanding sort of their spiritual knowledge, definitely taking note of the signs, synchronicities, the energetic connection between you, because it feels like this is somebody that wants to be very educated or very aware about these things so they don't miss out on the opportunity to, kind of embrace all that this connection has to offer and all that you have to offer. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.